So, my name's Terri Chrisman. Next slide, please. I'm a board certified nutritionist with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. And what that means is that I'm allowed to give you advice about lifestyle change and lifestyle modification to make your life healthier. But of course, anything I say today, it is not medical advice. So if you have a medical condition and you want to discuss it further, please do so with your primary care physician. So, who wants fabulous health? I certainly want fabulous health, but more than three-quarters of Americans have a lifestyle-based condition like high blood pressure or diabetes or high cholesterol. And over 56.5 million people die of heart disease every single year. And in America, that is one person every 33 seconds in this country. And 9 million people globally die because of complications of high blood pressure. Diabetes kills 3.5 million people every single year. And that's not the worst of it, I'm sorry to say. Lifestyle-based diseases contribute to 1.37 billion disability-adjusted life years. And if you don't know what those are the years of your life where you're alive and you're not dead, but you're sick and you can't do all the awesome things that you want to do. Like if you want to go running, you can't run because you get out of breath, or you want to go on a holiday with your friends and family, but you can't because you're stuck at home because of your debilitating diseases. So those disability adjusted life years, they're years lost where you could be healthy and happy and enjoying your life, but instead you're stuck at home getting sicker and sicker. And let me tell you, these statistics absolutely suck, don't they? Nobody wants to live a life of unwellness. So today I'm going to teach you the 6 pillars of a healthy lifestyle so that you can get well and stay well, so that you can prevent, manage, or even reverse these chronic conditions, so that you don't have to go down the rabbit hole of illness towards death. So let me tell you a little bit about me first. Not next slide yet. We're not there yet. My dad was killed by a massive heart attack when he was only 51. And I've made it my life's purpose to stop that from happening to people like you. So I'm an award-winning best-selling author of this book. It's called Fabulous Health, and I'll give you the opportunity to learn about that a little later in the talk. And I'm here to help you live a life of fabulous health. So today we're going to bust some myths, and I'm going to tell you some secrets that will blow your mind. My aim today is for you to be inspired and ready to embrace these healthy principles for a healthier, more vibrant life. So let's think, what do we even mean when we talk about fabulous health? Well, for me, it's waking up with abundant energy after a long, restful night's sleep. It's the absence of disease and the presence of vitality and energy. Remember that word, energy. It's being able to hike up a small mountain or ski down a large one. And if you can see what outside my window, I just skied down a large mountain before I came and talked to you. It's loving the skin that you're in, and it's the feeling of being utterly well in all ways, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So think about, what do you think about when you think of fabulous health? Do you think about getting into smaller pants, or do you think about coming off medication, not being in constant pain, having optimal numbers for blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose control? Well, we're going to talk about all that and more today. So, next slide, please. Let me introduce you to the word. Oh, sorry, you may have got one of these handouts. I think, Arlene, did you distribute these handouts to people, or can they get them from you? How do people get this handout?
I will distribute it after the session.
Excellent. So this is just a breakdown of the things I'm going to talk to you about today. And there's going to be a lot of science in this talk. I'm going to say a bazillion things, and you're going to leave going, oh my goodness, that was just too much stuff. But never fear, because all that information you can find in my book, you can find it on my website, and of course, you can email me afterwards and I'll be happy to talk to you. So, next slide, please. Let me introduce you to the word of the day. It's energy. ENERGY. And everybody wants more energy. So each of the letters in this word will represent one of the 6 pillars of a healthy lifestyle that I'm about to talk to you today. And if you nail these, you are going to see your health improve right before your very eyes. Next slide, please. So the first letter is E, and E stands for eat a plant-based diet. Now, the benefits of a plant-based diet are innumerable. Plants are low in saturated fat, so they don't cause heart disease and dementia. Now, animal products like eggs, meat, and dairy products, they're chock full of saturated fat and cholesterol. And this is the stuff that clogs up your arteries and can lead to heart attacks, strokes, and Alzheimer's. So fueling your body with optimal plant-based nutrition is like giving your smartphone a full charge. It runs smoothly, lasts longer, and keeps you buzzing all day. Plants are high in vitamins and minerals to make sure that your body runs like the amazing machine that it is. Plants contain these compounds called phytonutrients. These are minuscule compounds that have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-carcinogenic capabilities. Now, meat and animal products contain none of these. Plants are high in fiber, so your gut bacteria stays happy and you're not clogged up like a drain full of cat fur. Only 10% of Americans eat enough fiber daily. And those Metamucil gummies, they're not going to cut it. Fiber is only found in plants, not animal products. It's the indigestible part of the plant, and it's the favourite food of your gut bacteria. Fiber helps lower inflammation and cholesterol and improves your digestion. Having a fiber-rich diet can prevent and reduce the symptoms of ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, I should have just said IBS, and prevents colon cancer. So let's look at what the average American eats. Over 60% of the American diet is filled with ultra-processed foods, filled with additives, preservatives, weed killers like glyphosate, and other toxic chemicals. Now, you don't need to be a nutrition scientist to understand that this way of eating is not healthy. We don't even know how bad these foods can be for our body because exposure to these fake foods is ubiquitous. So it's hard to isolate individual culprits. Plants are high in protein. Yes, that's the stuff that builds muscles, makes hormones, and is an important player in virtually every bodily function. All plants have protein, some more than others, but you never need to worry about protein when you eat a varied plant-based diet. The protein in plants is clean. It gets used by the body the way nature intended. So let's look at animal proteins. They come with a host of undesirables, including veterinary medications, animal stress hormones, preservatives, and carcinogenic compounds. I really can't believe that people still eat that stuff. And of course, not to mention the animal suffering and torture and the devastating effect that animal agriculture has on the environment. Now, plant-based diets can help you lose weight because most plant foods are naturally low in calories, so you can fill your plate without fear. Plant-based diets help lower your risk of all the nasty diseases: heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, and obesity. And as you can see, there's no downside to eating a plant-based diet. So who's thinking that this all sounds well and good, but how do I incorporate more plants into my life? Well, in a perfect world, we'd all be plant-based and the rates of disease would absolutely plummet. But how does this work in the real world? No stress, I've got you covered. There's three simple steps. Number one, start with what you already eat that's plant-based. In my book, I have a list of probably about 300 different plant-based foods. Let me see if I can find it. I probably should have labeled it. And see all those foods? You don't have to read them, but see there's pages of them. And you can highlight those and work out what plants do I already eat. Do I like potatoes? Excellent, they're plants. Do I like carrots? Yeah, I like peas, I like broccoli, I like pears, I like avocado, I like bananas, I like strawberries. You will be surprised at how many plants you actually already like. And then, easy peasy, just eat more of those. Very simple. The next tip I have for you is to swap out the unhealthy ingredients in your favorite recipes for healthy ingredients. And I like to use lasagna as a demonstration. And I know, look, we don't make lasagna every day because it's, takes a little bit of time. But let's use it as an example. So lasagna, the unhealthy things in the lasagna are the white pasta, the meat sauce, and the cheese. So let's swap these out. Easy peasy, just buy whole grain pasta instead of white pasta. It's got so much more fibre. The meat sauce, you can make the same recipe, but instead of the mincemeat, you could use some plant-based meaty crumbles, which taste exactly like mincemeat, or you could go one step further and try lentils or soy curls. And then the cheese. How do we swap out cheese? A lot of people can't go plant-based because they're scared of swapping out the cheese. Well, you could buy a plant-based cheese, which could be probably high in oil. And if you're trying to lose weight, you probably don't want to do that. Or you can find a cookbook with some awesome plant-based cheeses in them. And I've got some recipes in my book too to make healthy, low-fat plant-based cheese. So you can still have your lasagna, but it's just not going to kill you. And then the third tip I have for everybody is try new things. It's always the last tip. You do not want to go to the Asian grocer and buy 35 different crazy, weird green vegetables and come home and stick them in your fridge and wait 3 weeks until they get slimy and throw them out. That's not going to help you get healthier. All you have to do is pick one new thing, get on the internet, see if you can put it in a recipe and try it. You may think it's the best thing you've ever had, or you may absolutely hate it. It doesn't matter. There are hundreds of thousands of plant-based foods you can try, and if you don't like one, move on to the next one. I got to tell you, I've never met an okra that I like, and it doesn't bother me because okra is not the only vegetable in the world. I eat about 40 different other vegetables, and I'm not worried if I'm not going to eat the okra. Next letter, please. No, sorry, not next letter, next slide. Thank you so much. Thank you, Arlene. Okay, so the next letter in our word of the day is N, and N stands for nurturing relationships. Did you know that community is one of the most overlooked parts of a healthy lifestyle? The sense of belonging can improve not just your physical health, but also your mental health. When you surround yourself with people who share the same values and you actively nurture those relationships, you instantly lower stress and improve your well-being. So who's had a terrible day and then a friend calls you and you instantly feel better? But can this be proved with science? I'm glad you asked. A Harvard University study followed 456 men for 75 years. I kid you not. They found that connectedness with others was the most important predictor of happiness and longevity. Close relationships, more than money or fame, were what kept people happy, and that these relationships helped delay mental and physical decline more so than social class, IQ, or genetics. So I urge you to find your tribe. Join a hiking group, a book club, or a gardening club. Find them here at Contra Costa or out in the wild. If you're shy, just lurk online. There's Facebook groups, school groups. Soon enough, you'll discover if you've chosen the right group. If not, just move on and try again. Your people are out there somewhere. You just need to find them. You never know. Your new best friend might even be in this group. But don't talk to him now. You can talk to him later. I'm happy for you to talk to him in the chat though. Okay, next slide. Thank you. From our word of the day, we discovered E for eat a plant-based diet, N for nurturing relationships, and the next E is exercise. The human body was made to move, and you cannot expect to have fabulous health without getting off your butt. Regular exercise can lower your blood pressure just as effectively as taking a blood pressure pill. Exercise can lower the risk of developing diabetes. There was a study where over 3,000 pre-diabetic patients was prescribed either metformin, which is the diabetes medicine, or exercise. After about 2.5 years, the people prescribed the exercise were half as likely to have developed diabetes as those on the diabetes drug. Remember, metformin doesn't cure or reverse diabetes. It just helps you regulate your blood sugar better. However, lifestyle can cure or reverse diabetes. Exercise also stimulates the feel-good endorphin hormones, such as dopamine and serotonin, and it's better than medication at reducing the symptoms of depression. When exercise is combined with therapy and medication, the results are even better. It doesn't matter what you do, Zumba, soccer, jog, lift weights, ski down mountains like I did this morning, get on your bike, whatever floats your boat. Just get 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise every week. Now, if you wanted to know which is which, moderate exercise is walking fast, like when you're trying to get to the post office before it closes. You can talk, but you couldn't sing. And vigorous exercise is things like high intensity interval training, dance aerobics, running, really sweating, where you can't talk because all you can do is breathe. And then there's this thing called NEAT. It stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT. NEAT is so good because it doesn't require going to the gym. It's what I'm doing now. It's all the movement you do as part of your day. Standing up, waving your arms around, doing chores, doing gardening, walking around the supermarket, fidgeting. The more NEAT you do, the more calories you burn. So don't be a couch potato. Try to get in as much NEAT as you can every single day. But remember, exercise is not just something you do for a couple of weeks. Like all these 6 pillars, to achieve fabulous health, you need to exercise for the rest of your life. But if the thought of schlepping to the gym gives you the heebie-jeebies, try this. Make it a habit to park a couple of blocks away from your destination and walk the rest of the way. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. If you've got a dog, take the dog for a walk 3 times a day. Your dog will love you, your body will love you, and it all adds up. Okay, next slide, please. The word of the day is energy, and the next letter is R. R stands for reduce stress. Now, some stress is good stress, like when you jump back on the curb so you don't get hit by a flying Uber driver as you're crossing the road. But chronic stress, the worry, the anxiety, and the increased heartbeat can cause high blood pressure, and put you at risk of a heart attack. Stress also releases the hormone cortisol, and too much cortisol can put you at risk of diabetes and obesity. So, no thanks. Reducing acute stress can be as simple as removing yourself from the stressor. So, if your boss is riling you up and causing steam to come out of your ears, politely excusing yourself and walking away is effective in the moment. Slow, deep breaths can reduce your heartbeat and switch your nervous system from the fight or flight to the rest and digest. Everybody, you probably all resting and digesting now, but I'm hyped up, right? So let's try it. Let's all put one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Take a deep breath in. Feel your belly rise. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Then slowly release. Now, if you do that 3 or 4 times, you feel calm instantly. It's a great way to calm your nervous system, lower your cortisol and your blood pressure. Of course, you have to do more than one breath. It's almost instant and it's free. Managing stress is an essential part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. While some stress is unavoidable, how you respond to it can make all the difference. So letting go may be one of the healthiest things you can do. So let's get back to the word of the day. We're running out of time. G is the next slide, and G stands for go to sleep. People who don't get enough sleep are at risk of disease. If you suffer from short duration and disrupted sleep, you're 2 times more likely to develop obesity. Not enough sleep can make you cranky, sluggish, and unproductive at work. Sleep is your body's repair time. This is the time where you're building muscle tissue, regulating hormones, and making memories. If your sleep is sketchy, all those essential functions don't get finished. And there's no catching up. So the aim is to get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every single night. And if that isn't enough, suboptimal sleep can increase your risk of diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and heart attacks. So get some sleep. Do we have to finish at exactly 12:30?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Thank you. So let's look at how we get some sleep. I was going to ditch this, but I'm going to stick it in there. Have you heard of sleep hygiene practices? These are systems that put you These are systems that you put in place to ensure that you get the best sleep possible. So here's the list of my favorites. Turn off the screens. Blue screens from computers, phones, and TVs, they emit blue light that keeps your brain awake. Turn them off at least 2 hours before bed. Stick to a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Have a bedtime routine. Set an alarm 30 minutes before bed. Get on your jammies, brush your teeth, close the curtains, turn down the lights and the heat. And this tells your brain that it's nighty-night time. Read a book, not on the iPad, a paper book or a journal. Clear your mind by writing out your thoughts. And don't eat any sugar, a heavy meal, caffeine or alcohol late at night. Let's move to the next slide. The last letter in our word of the day, energy, is Y. And Y stands for say yes to smart choices and avoiding risky substances. Look, I know that's a real stretch, but you try fitting Y into an acronym. It's really difficult. So we all know that illicit drugs are no good for us, right? So no matter how much fun we think they're going to be, they're never as much fun as we hope, and they can literally kill us. Does anybody want fentanyl in their disco biscuit? No, thank you. And we all know that we can get lung cancer from smoking, correct? So we want to avoid illicit drugs, prescription drugs that are not ours, and of course smoking. But what about alcohol? Alcohol is a depressant, a toxin, and it impedes our judgment. Now, my favorite study about alcohol followed 500 people for 30 years and compared the amount of alcohol they drank with how well their brains worked. They found that even moderate drinkers showed brain damage and shrinkage. And you may have heard that red wine is healthy. Well, it's just not. To get the benefit of the antioxidant resveratrol in the red wine, you'd need to drink so much of it that you'd have no brain cells left. You want antioxidants? Eat the red grape. Yes, somebody's saying, what? Alcohol is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a toxic poison that your body tries to expel as fast as possible. It's burned preferentially over food. And what this means is that when you drink a beer and eat a hot dog, the hot dog gets stored as fat straight to your love handles while the body uses the alcohol as fuel. So my advice, get alcohol out of your life. Next slide, please. So there you have it, the 6 pillars of a healthy lifestyle. E stands for eat a plant-based diet. N, nurture those relationships. E, get some exercise daily. R, reduce stress. G, get some sleep. And finally, Y. Why are you still drinking alcohol? So there it is, energy. As we wrap up today, remember that the path to fabulous health and vibrant longevity is not just a destination. It's a journey powered by energy. Every choice you make, every relationship you nurture, every 10,000 steps you take, every moment of rest and every healthy decision that you embrace propels you toward a life filled with vitality and joy. So let today be the day that you commit to these 6 pillars. Let today be the day that you choose to live with abundant energy. Because when you do, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. So thank you for joining me on this journey to fabulous health. Now go out there, embrace your energy, and live your best life. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you today. Now, there was so much information in there. All that information and more is inside my book, Fabulous Health. And there's a QR code there if you wish to purchase that book. You can get it on Amazon, or if you want a signed copy, I will dedicate a copy to you. So use that QR code. And then if you just want more information from me and you don't want to spend some money and you want some free stuff, Arlene, could you go to the next slide? I got some freebies for you. This is my little free PDF, 7 Habits for Fabulous Health. I know there's 6 pillars, but I got 7 habits for you, right? So why not? And if you nail these habits, you'll be on your way to fabulous health. So scan that code and I'll be very happy to send that free PDF out to you. And if you want to contact me just for a chat or anything else, Arlene's got the next slide. So thank you. Oh, maybe not that slide, maybe the next one. That one. This is how you can get in touch with me. I'm Terri at fabuloushealth.net, or my website is fabuloushealth.net. I know we went over time. I thank you for staying with me, but if there's any questions, we have a raised hand. I love it. Does somebody want to talk?
Do you guys have any questions for Terri? Please post it on the chat. It's a webinar, Terri, so they won't be able to talk.
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
We are just mesmerized by all the content. It's very, really good content.
It was a lot. I know it was a lot. It normally takes me 26 minutes, and I'm sorry that it took me a little bit longer today. So my apologies for that. I know people are busy and they don't have much time, but I'm absolutely happy to answer some questions. Absolutely, ML. I do a whole chapter in my book about the differences between organic and conventional food. And there are some lists that you can look up. There is a non-profit called the Environmental Working Group, and their website is ewg.org. I will put it in the chat so that you can see it, ewg.org. And they have two lists. One is called the Clean 15. And if you buy, this is 15 fruits and vegetables that have minimal pesticides, even if they're not organic. So things like bananas, because you peel them, avocados, because you peel them, oranges, because you peel them. Even corn, strangely enough, has low pesticides if you buy the non-organic versions. And if budget is an issue and you can't afford organic food, then absolutely eat from that Clean 15. You don't need to spend the extra money on the organic food. And then they've got another list called the Dirty Dozen. And these are 12 foods that you do not want to buy conventionally, that if you can afford it, please buy the organic version. And these are things like leafy greens and strawberries and nectarines. And there's a whole bunch there's 12 that changes every single year. But Dr. Joel Furman, who is a highly recognized and respected doctor in nutrition, he suggests to people, if you can't afford organic food, don't let that be an excuse not to eat fruits and vegetables. Just buy yourself a vegetable wash and wash your veggies and your fruits before you eat them. And that way you're getting the nutrients from the vegetables and you're minimizing your pesticide exposure.
Thank you, Terri. Do you have any other questions for Terri?
Okay, so yogurt and cottage cheese are dairy-based products. I do a whole section in my book about dairy too. It's going to be a long answer, so I know everybody's short on time. Dairy has been implicated in things such as breast cancer and prostate cancer. So I urge you to do some research on that, or you can read about that in my book. I would try to use the non-dairy versions. Now, I make my own yogurt. It's just soy milk in an instant pot. Again, there's a recipe in my book. I mean, I just everything I know, I put in my book, right? So it's so easy for you. And you can buy one of those yogurt makers that you sit on your kitchen counter. You just put boiling water in it and leave it overnight, and you've got instant yogurt. And then you don't have any of those fillers and gums and things. It's much healthier for you. But no, I'm on the anti-dairy camp. There's an app. I'll read this question for people. There's an app called Too Good to Go. Whole Foods is on there. You can get a surprise bag for $6 to $8. Awesome. Oh, I like that. That sounds interesting. What alternatives do you recommend instead of coffee? I love drinking coffee. See, I'm going to tell you, my alternative for drinking coffee is coffee. There's nothing wrong with coffee at all. Coffee is awesome. It's a stimulant. It helps you wake up. It's the only legal stimulant allowed by the Olympic Committee. There's nothing wrong with drinking a cup of coffee a day. It's actually been shown to improve your heart health if you drink 1 to 2 cups a day. Don't drink 7 cups a day. I also drink dandelion tea in the afternoon. It's a coffee substitute. It's called Dandy Blend because I can't handle caffeine in the afternoon. So I drink Dandy Blend. And I just use non-dairy milk. So I'm using soy milk. I could use oat milk is good. You can make your own cashew milk or whatever. So there's no reason to give up your coffee at all. Coffee's awesome, and continue to have your coffee in the morning. Just change your milk out. I love these questions. They're great questions.
Terri, do you have any suggestions for our PM and night shift staff, those who work overnight, in terms of managing health?
Yeah, so unfortunately, when you work the night shift, it does upset your circadian rhythm. And there have been studies to show that long-term upsets of the circadian rhythm is actually detrimental to your longevity, meaning that, it can make your life a little bit shorter. So my suggestion to people who work on night shift is, number one, think about your health first and foremost. Don't rely on the vending machines at the office for snacks during the night time. On your days off, prepare healthy food and take it to work, and make sure that you're fueling yourself with healthy food, and make sure that you do have a regular sleep routine. So just say you finish work at 7 a.m. Some days you might go to bed at 10 a.m. Some days you might not go to bed until 1 in the afternoon, and then you're disrupting that sleep. Make sure you have a system in place so that you get your sleep pattern is regular, and that you try and make your circadian rhythm adjust to that night shift. And then I know what happens is that you do that, and then your boss says, "Oh, you're going to be on day shift for the next month," and then you have to do it all again. But unfortunately, those things happen. But just while you're in the night shift, healthy food, and also getting that sleep, and trying to move around as much as possible. Don't make your life sleeping, working, sleeping, working. Make sure you get some time to do some exercise as well. One more. Are vitamins worthwhile? Oh, AG, how much time do you have? Everybody should be taking vitamin B12. I don't care what you eat, you should be taking vitamin B12. This is a subject for another webinar, but if you're not taking B12, you could run into neurological problems later in life. I urge everybody be taking vitamin B12. Look, I don't want to sound like a person pushing my book on people, but I've got a whole chapter on vitamins telling you which ones you should take and which ones you shouldn't. Okay, what suggestions can you give for those who are going through menopause? ML, I'm hearing you. I went through menopause early, 42. Hot flashes were hideous. Disrupted sleep, terrible. So this is going to sound really weird, but studies have shown that a whole plant foods diet reduces what we call vasomotor symptoms. And these are these hot flashes that keep you awake, and you have to rip all your clothes off and you're sweating profusely and they come out of nowhere. You want to stop inflammatory foods, fried foods, deep fried foods, fast foods, all those foods that are devoid of nutrients, and you want to maximize your foods with high nutrient value. And these are your whole foods. These are things like fruit, vegetables, whole grains and legumes, herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. If you push all those foods into your diet, and that will push the other foods out. I'm not saying go hungry. Fuel yourself with these healthy foods, and then you should find that your vasomotor symptoms decrease. There's a fantastic book called Finding Me in Menopause. I'm going to write it down in the chat, by Dr. Nitu Bajekul, and that will help you. Hang on. And I'll just write it. I know it sounds, you probably like, what did she say? Dr. Nitu Bajekul. So I would highly recommend, ML, that you read that book, and that'll help you heaps. I'm loving these questions. They're awesome. Thank you for the love heart.
Yes, thank you so much, Terri, for your time. I know we are past, the hour. So, but we learned a lot from you for sure. So we will invite you back, hoping that we will be able to, to have you back again with some deep dives on certain parts of your book. I will be asking our participants on what elements or aspects they would be interested in, so that I hope
Yes.
you'll be open, for us to, discuss more, dive more, and then kind of like a book club, the type of
That'd be great.
discussion.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I mean, anything that you want to know about, I could expand, and I could probably be a little slower and calmer, so that I could less information and just focus on one. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Terri. And we wish you a
Oh, wrong
great
hand.
week, whatever is remaining of the week. And
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much,
much, everyone.
everybody. I really appreciate you. Bye.